You're more of a human than I thought.
Wow, thank you, Alex. That is so flattering.
No, I just mean, you don't seem like the kind of person that would name their dog David.
He's named after Bowie.
Wait, seriously?
So it looks like fans of Red, White, and Royal Blue might have something really exciting to look forward to. After 2 years of waiting and wondering if we'd ever see Alex and Prince Henry again, things are finally starting to move in a good direction. And although there's been a bit of confusion lately, everything points to a bright future for the sequel, and that's exactly what we'll be diving into today. So let's start with what got everyone talking in the first place. Recently, author Casey McQuiston, the creative mind behind the original Red, White, and Royal Blue novel, made a small comment during an event saying pencils are kind of down for now when asked about the sequel. Fans immediately panicked, thinking that meant the project was on pause or even cancelled, but it turns out it was all just a misunderstanding. Because shortly after, McQuiston cleared things up on social media, explaining that pencils down wasn't meant literally. They wrote that the phrase is something people usually say when finishing a test like the SATs, meaning you've completed a section and it's time to stop writing. In this case, McQuiston used it as a lighthearted way to describe turning in a manuscript or finishing a draft. So in simple terms, the pencils might be down, but the sequel definitely isn't. And that's such a relief, because fans have been eagerly waiting for the story to continue ever since the first movie became one of Prime Video's biggest hits. Back in May 2024, Amazon MGM Studios officially confirmed that a Red, White, and Royal Blue sequel was in active development. This came after the first movie broke records by hitting #1 globally on Prime Video during its debut weekend and staying there for 3 straight weeks. That kind of success doesn't go unnoticed, and it made perfect sense for Amazon to greenlight a follow-up. But here's where things get really interesting, because unlike the first movie, which was based on McQuiston's best-selling 2019 novel, there's actually no sequel book this time around. That means writer-director Matthew Lopez and McQuiston have the creative freedom to build something brand new. Lopez, who made his feature debut with the first film, said that even though there's no existing material to adapt, they're using Casey's original ideas and vision as the foundation for this next chapter. In an interview with Deadline, Lopez explained that his goal was always to make audiences feel the same way at the end of the movie as they did when they finished the book. That sense of warmth, hope, and connection is what made the first story so beloved, and it sounds like he plans to capture that again, just this time without a roadmap. Now let's talk about what's confirmed so far. Both Taylor Zakhar Perez and Nicholas Galitzine will return as Alex and Prince Henry, which is exactly what fans wanted. Their chemistry was one of the main reasons the first film was such a hit, and seeing them back together promises even more emotional depth and romance in the sequel. Lopez will also be returning to write and direct, this time co-writing the screenplay alongside Casey McQuiston themselves. That collaboration alone is a huge reason to be excited, because it means the sequel will stay true to the heart of the original story while also exploring new territory. And it's not just the actors and creative team returning. Producers Greg Berlanti and Sarah Schechter are back too, joined by Michael McGrath and Lopez. McQuiston will be serving as an executive producer, so their influence will be felt throughout the entire process. It really sounds like everyone involved wants to make the sequel something special, not just a continuation, but a meaningful evolution of the story. Now, in case you're new to this world, here's a quick refresher on what Red, White, and Royal Blue is all about. The movie follows Alex Claremont Diaz, the charming and ambitious son of the US president, played by Uma Thurman. After a rather embarrassing incident with Prince Henry of England, the two are forced to fake a friendship for the sake of public image. But as they spend more time together, their fake bond turns into something real, and what starts as a political arrangement blossoms into a secret romance that defies expectations and boundaries. It's a story filled with humor, passion, and heart, but also one that handles identity and vulnerability beautifully. That balance between rom-com fun and real emotional weight is what made it such a global success. Nicholas Galitzine, who plays Prince Henry, has become one of the most talked about young actors in Hollywood since the film's release. He's not just known for his charm on screen, he's also proven himself to be an incredibly versatile performer. Before Red, White, and Royal Blue, Galitzine already had a few impressive credits under his belt. including his breakout in Cinderella alongside Camila Cabello, where he also showed off his singing talents. He's actually a trained musician and has released his own music too, which adds another layer to his appeal. And while many of his roles have seen him playing LGBTQ+ characters, like in Handsome Devil and The Craft Legacy, Galitzine has said that what matters most to him is portraying every character with honesty and empathy, no matter their sexuality. He's praised director Matthew Lopez for creating a supportive environment where authenticity came first, and it clearly paid off on screen. Born in Hammersmith, London, and descended from the Russian house of Galitzine, Nicholas truly has a royal lineage, which might explain why he fits into those regal roles so naturally. But acting wasn't always his first dream. He once wanted to be a professional rugby player and was part of the Harlequins Academy before an injury changed his path. That twist of fate ended up being a blessing in disguise because it led him to acting and eventually to international fame. Galitzine's filmography has only grown stronger since Red, White, and Royal Blue. He starred opposite Anne Hathaway in The Idea of You, another highly anticipated romantic film that pairs his charm with Hathaway's seasoned presence. Plus, he'll appear in the historical drama Mary and George alongside Julianne Moore, playing George Villiers, a role that shows off his versatility even more. But no matter what projects he takes on, fans still can't stop talking about his chemistry with Taylor Zakhar Perez. Their connection in Red, White, and Royal Blue felt real and effortless, which is probably why the thought of seeing them together again in the sequel is so exciting. Now, since there's no existing book to follow, the question becomes, what direction could the sequel take? Well, given how the first movie ended with Alex and Henry finally choosing love and stepping into a future together, the next story could explore what comes after the fairy tale, because love might conquer all, but maintaining a relationship under global scrutiny is no small feat, especially when it involves royalty and politics. The sequel could show them navigating long-distance challenges, dealing with the media, or even facing pressure from both their families as they continue building their life together. It might also dig deeper into Henry's identity and his journey toward self-acceptance, or Alex's ambition and the balancing act between love and his political goals. Whatever the story becomes, it's safe to say it will focus on emotional growth, partnership, and the kind of romance that feels genuine. And let's be honest, it's really nice to see a romantic story like this getting the sequel it deserves. So many times, films end just as the characters finally get together, leaving fans to wonder what happens next. But Red, White, and Royal Blue feels different. It's a story that celebrates love in all its forms, with humor, vulnerability, and a bit of royal flair. So the idea of a second film expanding that world feels like a perfect continuation. Even better, the tone of excitement from everyone involved, from the cast to the creative team, shows how passionate they are about making this next chapter just as magical. And since the first film was one of Prime Video's most streamed movies ever, there's no reason to doubt that the sequel will be another big hit when it finally arrives. So while we don't have an official release date yet, the pieces are falling into place, and the energy around the project is nothing but positive. The story of Alex and Henry clearly isn't finished, and fans can look forward to more laughter, love, and royal chaos soon enough. Because at the end of the day, Red, White, and Royal Blue isn't just a romantic comedy, it's a celebration of connection, courage, and being true to who you are, even when the world is watching. And with everyone's pencils metaphorically back up and the creative team all in, the sequel is shaping up to deliver another heartwarming, joy-filled story that fans will absolutely adore. So what do you think the sequel should explore? Should Alex and Henry face new challenges together, or maybe even take their relationship public? Let me know what you think in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more movie updates, because this royal romance is far from over, and the next chapter might just be even better than the first.